Hello there, my name is Ismail and welcome to another Blender Daily Tip, and today we're going to be looking at animating a speaker to the beat or to music. And yeah, so we're going to be using this appeal here, and if you want to use the same model here that I have, or if you want to download it, you can become a patron and you'll be able to get it. Yes, so let's get into it. So obviously you're going to need some audio to work with, and I have this track here. Which is a YouTube track from audio library, so you can get it for free without worrying about copyright issues if you want to use it anywhere else. So yeah, let's start working on it. So to import audio that we're going to use to animate the speaker, we need to bake it to curves, and the way you do it, because we want to animate to add the animation to this, I'm not going to to bake the animation directly onto this speaker. I want to animate the parent and then use the parent to animate this object, so the speaker itself. So we're going to use a different workflow. So for that, I'm going to let's add an empty. Let me use a cone because it will show us the direction of the audio. I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees like this. Let me also apply the rotation. I just keep it like that. And now we need to, let's go to the animation panel. Let me switch this maybe to curves. So to bake the animation, you need to first keyframe the object you want to animate. So let's add a keyframe for this. Just hit record and then hit G to move this object to mark these keyframes. And you need to access the curve editor, or just in the timeline you can just switch to the curve editor by using Control Tab to toggle between the keyframe editor and the curve editor. So then we can switch off the keyframes. We don't need them anymore here. We don't need to record anymore. So now you can see we have a lot of values here. We can, or properties, we can animate, scale, rotation, and anything. So depending on what you want to animate, you can select that value or property, and let me show you. Let's first decide what our property we want to animate. I think, let's see if I get the gizmo here. I think we can animate the Y property, which is the green color here, the Y location property, so that the audio can bounce like this, and then we can tie that to the speaker to bounce in that direction. So now I don't really need any of the other properties here, so you can either delete them or just select the property you want to use. You can zoom in on it, or first disable everything else but the property you want, so that you can, you are selecting and have isolated it as the property you want to animate. Then you can go under key, the menu here in the timeline menu, key, bake sound to F curves. Then you can navigate to your sound. Mine is called distant. You can see some of the settings you want to use here. Frequency, high frequency. These are just cutoff points, I think, that are fine. And yeah, so, but you don't need to change that for this to work. You don't need to touch all these settings for this to work. So you just select that and then bake to curve. So it may take a few seconds depending on how long your audio track is, but this is what we have. You can see the audio has been baked, and now if we play back, you can see this is going in the wrong direction. It's going in the Y direction. Are we okay? Okay, so I'm viewing the normal orientation. That's why I got the axis wrong. So make sure you are in the global orientation, and you can see it's the Z axis we want to animate. And I don't know if there is a way to copy this track. I don't think you can, but if you got the wrong axis, you can just delete that animation. Make sure that I'm not selecting anything else. also seems you can't delete it from the curves. So what you can do is come to the properties here, expand this and just select. You can see this is also has been unchecked, so you can delete it like that, so that you don't have that animation on that anymore. So we want to animate the Z property, so let's do this again. Just show the Z property and then select that, key back to curves. Okay, make sure that when you go to the key, you're looking at the curve editor and on the timeline editor, because you can see that we don't have the back to curves in the timeline editor. So make sure you change that to the curve editor. You can see now we get access to that. So back to curve and select that. Let's back again. Now you can see, okay, I think our keyframes is a bit so the back starts where the timeline indicator is, and you can see that our timeline indicator is a bit off, and you can't move these keyframes. So again, we just have to delete this and make sure that the timeline indicator is at 0 or wherever you want the animation to start, and then let's make sure we have the Z keyframe by adding the keyframe again and then selecting the Z. You want the Z location, which is here. So go under, make sure you go under key back sound to F curves, and then select again back sound, and yeah, this is what we have. So we have backed the audio, but we don't have the audio playback. So what you can do is either add a speaker object. Let's first remove the keyframe so that we don't animate it, and then in the speaker properties you can open the sound you want to use. See, the problem with the speaker object is that the volume depends on how far you are from the speaker object. Let me play for you, and you hear. You can see it's very low. Doesn't seem to change. But the second way to import the audio is by just going to the video editing layout and then importing sound from there. So just go under add sound, then navigate to the sound, make sure it's starting at the same time as your animation, and we can go back. Some reason this is even louder than the audios, the sound object. Let me extend this. Okay, now that we have that, we need to move this. We need to move this so that it starts driving this object. But the problem is because we have locked the Z property, whenever we move this and play back, it will snap back because it's getting the transformation from the Z, from the audio track. So what we can do, instead of moving this object, we can just parent it to another object. So let's add an empty like this, and then we can parent this to that empty, and now we can move this to any location we want. Now to make it drive this speaker, what I'm going to do is just let me first duplicate this, clear rotation, and move this around there. Somewhere like that, and let's get, so then we can select a vertex point like this and then hook that to an empty. Let's make sure that the selection is wide enough. Let me first turn off the subdivision so we can make it, so I want this to bounce like this, so we can hook this selection to an empty. So Control H, hook to new object, and you can see we have this new hook which we can animate and kind of distort the mesh or the speaker. Since we have the animation already, we don't have to animate this by hand, so we can just parent this to this object here, to our speaker object. Make sure I keep offset, and now okay, so you can reduce the strength here so that it's not. And now to make sure that all these speakers work, we can just link them to this object and see. Control L, object data. And make sure that, okay, that doesn't seem to work because maybe it's using this different animation data. So instead of doing that, you can just delete all these or hide them, whatever you want to do. Let me just back this up because this is a project I don't want to mess up. So we can just get the location of this, cursor selected, and then we can make sure that this, let me see, this is parented to this, and this is parented to that. This should also be parented to this here. Control keep transform. Yeah, so that we can move this around, and now we can snap this to this object here. Cursor, selection to cursor, and just copy the rotation of this object. So copy this to this, and copy this. Great. Now we just need to hide or delete this version. Turn back to subdivision surfaces. Subdivision surface. We can copy this again to this. So I'll just get the location of this and Shift G children, and also select this. Alt D to duplicate this, and then snap it to the cursor. Okay, so I think I deleted that before I needed to. So let's first clear rotation and then rotate this on the x-axis. I think this middle speaker is a bit larger than the other ones, so then push it back to position. And now that we have these two, we don't need these other ones. What we can do is just use a mirror modifier and select this object, this pill, as the mirror object. Just figure out what angle mirror, select this, and Thank you for watching. Again, if you want to download this speaker and use it in your projects, you can become a patron, and you will have access to it. Also, I'm not sure if you know, but if you don't, I have a second channel, Blender. Let me make sure I don't show anything I don't have to show here, because I had my email address opened. But yeah, you can check out my second channel. I'm creating a new series. It's mostly going to be about it's mostly going to be time lapses, but I'm going to be making medieval assets for games, and that I'll be selling on my 3D store. So I'll be posting all the time lapses here. So if you want to watch that, and maybe if I make anything advanced or complicated, I'll be explaining it how I did that step by step on top channel one-on-one. And but you can come back here. You can come to this channel and check out some of the time lapses that I've been working on. Yeah. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.